Hal here with more Space Engineers, and today, yeah, well, let me start this with, this should have been the end of a video, but unfortunately the video corrupted, so I'm going to show you what we've been working on, what we've gotten done today, and yeah, we'll talk about it shortly, so let's get started. Oh, right. So, yeah, let me recharge here. So, we have just actually finished recording what should have been the first video for this week, which is now the first lost video for the week. Oh, it is what it is, right? All right, so let me get my inventory cleared out here. So for those who don't know, I have been having some random difficulties with some of the video stuff lately. Windows 10 basically has done an update that screwed up a bunch of settings for me, and yeah. So it's just been interesting, to say the least. Alright. Now, one of the things that we've done, if you remember last time, this was still unfinished out here. We now have a third refinery in place. We've gone ahead and extended the walkway out here, which then goes up to the roof. Now, what the video that we had just previously tried to record was building this light tower. And I was explaining how you find the rotors and, you know, if you wanted to position things when you're building, how to do this, how to do so. What it comes down to ultimately is if you're using spotlights, or even if you're not using spotlights, but you want to get your rotor positions mostly accurate, when you're building the spotlight, you'll have this little crosshair looking piece here. So if you look at that and use, basically if you have the 0 position set facing the general direction you want the spotlight to be, you can use this to kind of guesstimate where your ranges are, because it's going to be that line on the rotor part where it matches up to the rotor itself, right? So if you start with, like, say 45 degrees, you'd be facing roughly that direction. 20 degrees is a little bit off the center of it. It's like just left of that second line there, the first subline, this one. It's somewhere in this area. But yeah, you just basically use this and you can judge where your position roughly needs to be. And you can do that for pretty much any of the rotors that you're using. Once you're done, you either take the rotor out or take the spotlight out and place in whatever you're wanting there. So if you wanted to have a fixed gun on, say, a small ship or something like that on the rotor, you could. It just depends on what you're doing. You know, so if you've got like a tool or something up here, you'd be able to do that as well. If you want to get really fancy, you can put in something like Whip's Mart turret. That thing is bloody awesome. You just group your rotors and a control block into the same group inside your control panel, and when you are on it, you'd mount, basically just put a block with a camera on it, and you'd be able to position everything exactly where you want it to be, turn everything off, and then come out, remove the things that you don't want, add the things that you do, and it's pretty much in position. So just little tricks of the trade for what you can do is if you're trying to get really fancy. Like I said, if you're going mostly vanilla, I would just use a spotlight and then basically look down the sighting of the spotlight, and that'll tell you where it needs to be. So now the idea with the light tower is that we're going to have basically a light, what is it, I just lost what I was going to say. Lighthouse, that's it. So basically we're going with a kind of a lighthouse design for these two, which will, you know, hopefully be able to be seen from further away. With these guys, we're going to do a in-place offset. So basically we'll have the rotor part, and see how this is set here. We'll have it pointed down. So while this thing's spinning, it will help illuminate areas around the base a little bit. So at least in theory, we'll see how it looks. I may end up doing the actual warning tower thing, which would basically be have these turned on at a fairly high rate of speed, so that they're rotating the 360 degrees like every 2 seconds or so, maybe even a second. So while it's rotating, while the whole thing is rotating either clockwise or counterclockwise, antediluvian for those who like proper terminology, these things, both the end rotors will be spinning as well, which I may end up doing because I tend to like that look when it does that. So, but we've gone ahead and gotten the ladder or the stairs in place. Everything can go there, and we want to go turn on all of our spotlights, which I'm kind of surprised. I would have thought the spotlights were already turned on. They are. I'm going to set them out to 160. We want these to be a little bit more intense. Let's go 2.5. And if you want to get really fancy, you can start doing things like blink intervals and blink length and everything. So it says they are turned on. I don't know if I believe it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes when when the sun goes down. I guess it is, because I'm getting a bit of a shadow behind me there, so I'm guessing maybe it is turned on. Okay. But like I said, we'll find out once the sun goes down and all the T600s run away. Sorry, bad joke. Bad joke reference. All right. So the last time we were together, we were working on the hangar. We were working on the little rover ship here. This is our little mobile exploration ship. There is no ore processing on it. There's just the cargo. So we are able to store things, but we're not able to process things with it. And one of the things that some of you had mentioned was that you wanted to see a cargo connector in the top of the hangar, and then maybe use... Why are you... Interesting. Apparently, I'm guessing one of the T600s got in here. Maybe I shot it by accident? You just need a large steel tube. So yeah, we did finish the rover. Let me get in here really quick. We're just going to grab some parts really really quickly. Get you welded back up. Make sure over here is still good. And let me show you what we've got going on in here. So we have it set up where once the ramp closes, this whole thing pressurizes. Yay, we actually get atmosphere in the boarding area. There is a airlock here, which brings you into a completely sealed unit. Now we do have a Mr. Coffee, so we have the ability to recharge our health and power, but not recharge our air tanks. In order to do that, we actually do have to get into the inventory system, which is, you know, piped in through here. So if we want to recharge, we just get into the cockpit. If you go into the O2 generator, oh no, it changed. Sometimes it lets me do it and sometimes it doesn't. That's really annoying. There you go. So we're gonna have to change it. We have to make some changes. But basically that allows you to recharge yourself inside. You come back over this way, hit the button, drops the ramp, and you're good to go. You just crouch down. If you want to close it, you can hit this button here and that'll close everything up. It also allows you to get back in if you're out and about. Now I do have the wheels offset to the point where the whole thing is lowered down. If we disconnect from the grid, we can jack this thing up and you don't even have to crouch to walk under here. There's enough clearance in there that you don't have to worry about it. One of the things that we did do is go ahead and put the ore detector in. We've got a radio antenna so that we can see what the ore detector picks up. We've got a bunch of spotlights, and of course we have wheels. Now one of the things that we did is we went ahead and put compact batteries in, And then we put two of these smaller 3x3 wheels. Now the reason I use these is because if something happens and you need to replace the wheels, you could carry one large 5x5 back there, and you would just grind it down and use the parts to make the new wheel. Or if you use the 3x3s, you still have enough parts to completely make a new wheel, but you also have a few parts left over. So if you lose two wheels, you could have, say, let's say we lost these two wheels, because we did almost lose this one for some reason. What we would do is we would fully replace this one, and then we would do as much welding as we could for parts wise on this one. And then that way, we have the wheels if we still need them. Now, the other portion is that the thing that concerns me, so yes, we did put solar panels on this thing as well, so it does pull power while we're out and about. It recharges a little bit. And then we have a compact shield emitter, which we're not going to be able to use for right now because we don't have platinum, but once we have platinum, we'll be able to build this thing. Now the idea is that when we are ready to leave, this rover is coming with us. So whatever we build will have to be big enough to house this. Which brings us to the other point that I wanted to talk about. Let me show you what we're thinking here. Okay, so we have these 5x5 wheels, right? We were talking about building an actual mobile base that was big enough to do everything we want. But if you notice, this thing is like the size of our little rover down there. Just to give you an idea of what we're talking about here. Look at this. This thing is ridiculous. Lay it down. So it is as wide, or almost as wide, as our rover is. And because our rover is fairly square, that means, yeah, this tire is like this one wheel is like the size of our entire rover. It's not actually a problem for me. I don't mind that. What we're talking about doing is making something that uses the 5x5s that will be an actual mobile base. For those who are Marvel fans, it would be basically an idea similar to the helicarriers that they use. Does not mean it may not fly. It may not be intended to fly. It may just be a ground-based thing. But something along that line where you have the ability to gather resources, process those resources, assemble parts, and to build. And what I am talking about doing, and again, this is not set in stone. There's no guarantee I'm going to, but what I may end up doing is bringing in the beam laser drill and mounting it up on a turret on the ship that the base we're talking about building. So what we would be able to do is basically say go across the ice lake. There's magnesium 89 meters down or 85 meters down. We would have the beam laser set up on a turret and just drill into the ice. Pull out the stuff we want, ignore the stuff we don't, and move on to the next spot. I think it'd be kind of interesting to do something like that. But let me know in the comments below. Do you want me to, do a long-term planetary build and we get to space when we get to space? Or do you want me to just go ahead and start working on getting to space as quickly as possible? Because if we do get to space as quickly as possible, I can do that in, I don't know, a couple of hours. It'd be like a episode. We would just gather a crap ton of resources and build whatever we wanted to build to get off the planet. I think the idea of having a planetary base where we're just roving around the planet for a while might be fun. But I want to know what you think. Yep. So I think that is all of that. We got that done. Showed you the new hangar, showed you new workspaces. All right. So from here, I think it's just going to be finishing welding up this area. And we will, yeah, I think we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Okay, so did not been gone entirely too long. I just did some repainting, finished up some of the welding. So we now have this in this nice safety yellow. Comes up through here. We went ahead and welded up all of the platform stuff so that this is good, and normalized the colors on the stairs going up. So like I was saying before the break, what I was wanting to know is what everybody thinks about the idea of having something that's basically a scaled up version of that little rover, which would have a couple of refineries, some assemblers, and a bunch of other parts. And I would like to know what you think on it, so definitely do please leave your ideas down in the description, or down in the discussion area. Sorry. Oh, but yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun with this playthrough, and I'm fine with either staying on the planet or going to space. I think that the planet survival to me is a little bit more interesting right now, but you know, it's like, I like both. I like both. Now, if we do stay on the planet, the thing we have to remember is that we don't have platinum, so what we may end up doing is building like a small shuttle in order to get into orbit, hit up some asteroids, see if we can find a bit of platinum to bring down for processing so that we can use it for the different components and such. So that is something to keep in mind that we may need to do. Oh, okay. I think that is probably going to... Oh, how did we get... We've just got like these random paint areas that are getting through things. And you're going to be somewhere I can't get you, aren't you? Yep. Ah, that is really annoying. Because you know what I'm going to have to do? I have to go pull that thing out to paint this area. Ah, all right. Maybe shoot the area. I don't know yet. There you go. And we're gonna go ahead and grab just the open walkway, because we're not too worried about the whole thing. We just want that. And with that, there we go. Okay. Yay, we fixed the issue. So let's head up here for a second. We're going to turn on... We still need to set up the rotors. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get those set up. We want... These guys are going to be... Probably just do 45s. So no, you're going to be 315... And you're going to be 315, so we want them both to 315. That makes it even easier, because now I don't have to figure out which one's which. Yes, I am being lazy. All right. So we're going to go ahead and go in here. We want you two to be set upper limit 315. Lower limit's going to be 0. We're going to set you to 1.5 velocity for right now. And you are what? Large steel tubes and plates. I need at least 2 more of those. Alright, so we need basically a crap ton of large steel tubes. We're going to finish these up while we're waiting for it. And steel plates. There we go. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this going. Now, you don't need to do this. The only reason I'm doing it is because, well... that's just who I am, the way I do things. But as you can see, these things are providing light the way we were hoping that they would. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and grab... There we go. Okay, so we want you... let's go... Let's try 5. But as you can see in the little shadow area over here, when the light rotates through, right? See? And I'm probably going to go ahead and start welding all of this stuff up off camera. Just because as you saw, my aim with the gun in this game is not the best. Alright, so we'll let it get dark here. We'll see what that looks like shortly. I am liking that though. Okay. Let's go back in here really fast. Those two are set. That one is set. Actually, these two I need. We're going to set these to 0 velocity. That way if something happens, they don't start spinning. Which, you know, it's Space Engineers. Things like to break for no reason. And we're going to go ahead and grab our spotlights. And I wonder which one they are. Let's see here. In theory, let's just do it the easy way. Come here, you. And you. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to set these things so that we can find them in the terminal. So we're going to spotlight you and you. Okay. You are at max radius. You are at max intensity. And we're not going to do any offset. So we are going to increase you up to 3.5, I think. Let's get up and re-weld these up. Want them just a little bit brighter than the regular spotlights. And then these two we're going to set max brightness or max intensity. So you and you, which is I want to say like 5 or 6.5. And the reason we're doing this is because we want these to stand out a little bit more than the other lights. Because as you can see here, the spotlight that we have down here, or facing down here, should be bright enough for us to be able to work on stuff out here on the landing pad. And every once in a while we'll get a little bit more light as things go past, which is good. Why do I keep hearing the Terminators? I swear I keep hearing Terminators. Is there a Terminator down here? I wonder if one fell down here. One fell down here? No, I guess not. Oh, I got turned around. There it is. Alright. Okay, so I think that is about it for us today. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I do apologize that it's kind of disjointed. Like I said, we're working on a full video that didn't render properly. So we have what we have, and we hopefully made the best of it. If you did find it entertaining, make sure you hit that like button. Thinking about spotlights too much. If you have any questions, please always feel free to throw them down in the section below. You can also find us over on the usual social media, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We're all over the place. Hey, look, they're charging me. Oh, just in time. Come here, buddy. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Bring me those free parts. Whoa! Hey guys, how's it going? How many of you are there? Any more? Ugh. Ooh, uranium. Nice, thank you. Anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and call this one here. If you enjoyed it, like I said, do make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. And as I said, always feel free to drop comments down in the section below. Not only do the likes, comments, and subscriptions help the channel to grow, get more visibility, but it also lets me know that you're enjoying the content. And as long as you're enjoying the content, I'm going to keep making it. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy your week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Alright, so now we start looking at little scout flyers. I think I have some ideas on that.